Miss was different. Why do you think the performance was triggered? I mean, it was not the best games for you guys. What caused it?
You know what? I mean, they caused a big part of it. I mean, they were really good, and you have to give them credit. They played very well. And again, it was 30-29. We actually had the lead, I believe, or down one, 29-28. Schneider-Harrod, offensive foul with both arms out instead of in his arm bar, going the other way. And that kind of, at that point right there, you could check it. I think it was 29-28. And I can't remember if we had the lead or we were down one. It was one or the other, obviously. But and that was like 6-7 minutes left in the first half, if that, and it just went off a cliff. I think we had some foul trouble too. I want to say it was Lamar that had two, but I could be wrong. Because I watched the film last night and I didn't have the game book with me to because he was out and I put him back in when they finally. We had some tough issues in terms of we had a follow that should have been dunked that we missed when it's a 10-point lead. We had just a lot of unfortunate plays, and they were knocking down. Our transition defense, though, as you asked me this morning, was horrible. That's the worst transition defense we played all season. And they exploited it. I mean, they really did. And they did a great job. And the other thing we didn't do well, we didn't guard the ball. They were driving us, and really got to the basket. I think the points in the paint was a real significant number in that game.
You didn't have IJ in that first game and things. How big of an impact is that going to be? You mentioned,
Well, obviously it helps us a lot to have IJ because, he's played against them and played against that system before, and it's, he helped us Saturday. I felt like that was his first game back. He played some on the road, but he wasn't. After being out 2 weeks, it was hard for him. But I think he really did a good job for us in what he does for us. The first thing, it starts with us defensively. He makes us way better defensively because he has a lot of experience. He's the most verbal in terms of communicating and telling guys where to go, what to do. He's the best guy we have in transition defense, remembering his job. He's got experience. He's a senior. He's the only upperclassman we got. And then he does a good job remembering his assignments and his quickness and his toughness really help us. So, yeah, he's definitely going to help us do a lot better than we did last time we played.
I know you touched on it in the teleconference, but do you envision keeping that same lineup possibly because of defensive purposes?
We'll let you know game time.
This team shot threes pretty well all season long, but really not as much of late. Do you still want the guys? Are you still encouraging guys to take those shots when they're open?
Yeah, open. And we watched yesterday as a team. We watched on film a lot of our offensive possessions from the game against Florida. Our defense was good enough to win on Saturday. And we missed, no question, some open looks, but we also took some shots where you got to pass that up to penetrate to make the extra pass. And we actually did that a few times really well. And we missed some open shots. So, I mean, there was literally like half a dozen of those threes that are like wide open that we missed. And that's just unfortunate because we made those most season long.
You mentioned before that game or last week of Q having more of an emphasis of driving, and he did that a lot against Florida early and often. Was that a point of discussion with him again going into that game?
Yeah, and I thought he did a good job, but he still ended up taking 8 threes, and probably on 3 of those he could have gone in there. Like even the last play of the last shot for us of the game, we're down 3, 23, 24 seconds to go. They gamble for the ball and miss. He actually has a straight beeline to the basket, and he's already decided I'm going to pull from 3 down 3 with plenty of time left, and that's just him understanding, time and score, and there's a lot, we don't need the three. We need to attack the rim and for sure get a sure two and be down one or maybe get an and one.
Is there a mental hangover from having a tough night from three like that?
I don't think so. I think, you move on. I mean, these kids are young, they're resilient. They've been good, even through this, tough stretch we've been in. These guys have not, quit or give in. They keep fighting, they keep pounding, and I'm, happy about that.
Reddy's not going to be on this team next year. Do you see his communication skills at all rubbing off on these guys?
Let's hope. I mean, I think that, again, typically in most programs, to be playing so many freshmen all at the same time without, some leadership around them is a difficult thing. That's why I'm amazed at what Cal Perry does every year to be essentially playing with, now granted, there's a lot of one-and-doners in those guys, but, they've done an incredible job.
Have you seen any examples lately that there's signs of them taking that experience? Or
Yeah,
learning from
I
that?
think Lamar's getting better. I really do in terms of that and talking. I think Lamar is and naturally as a point guard, he's directing, and we've got. I also think that Mario's doing a good job. Mario defensively here the last 8 to 10 games has really been exciting for me compared to where he started to where he is.
Eric's third in the league in block shots. What makes him such a good shot blocker in your mind?
Yeah, he's long. He has good timing. He's got, he's good jumping ability. He's quick. So he causes problems in there. He comes from behind, he block his own shot, his own man shot. So he does it well.
Does that ability of his allow you to go with small lineups more often, knowing you don't necessarily give up rim protection there?
Not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't affect. There's some times where he's waiting for the guy. Sometimes he's looking to block too much, where we want him to meet penetration earlier because he gets in foul trouble. Like in our last game, I think he played 16 minutes against Florida, or 15 minutes. Now, granted, a couple of his fouls were, tough breaks for us. One was a post-up foul that I looked at and questioned in transition. But, yeah, we need to keep him out of foul trouble. That's, I think, probably the biggest issue.
Yeah, I noticed he's been in foul trouble recently. How do you work on that with him?
Yeah, meet penetration. Don't try to block everything. And, I think that's the biggest one. And in the game before that, he was getting around against Georgia. He has the footwork to get around in the post, and he was reaching from behind. He had like two coming from behind, where he's straight behind the guy. And you can't gamble like that and put yourself in the potential to get a whistle.
Seems like nationally people have noticed what you've been doing, recruiting-wise, coaching-wise. I read in Sports Illustrated that you were one of, I think, 6 candidates or floated around for the NC State job. How does it feel to have your name thrust into conversations like that?
Yeah, I don't know why that gets thrust like that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm excited about our future, and not going through the pain of building to start building all over again. You can only do this so many times. This is it.
Coach, you've had some ball games, some leads late, and then you give them up. How do you prevent that from becoming like a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's like, here we go again?
I'm sorry, say the question again, please.
So when you lose some games late, how do you prevent the guys from getting this mentality like, here we go again? How do you reverse that trend?
Yeah, I don't think that was it the other day. And again, when you look at the Florida game, we're down 12 and they have the ball. We did a great job to come back with 2 minutes to go. Unfortunate break. Mario blocks a shot with about 1:50 and some change on it. And Eric's looking to block out, doesn't see that the ball's falling way short of the rim, and that's how they scored the go-ahead basket. But we had 2 bad possessions offensively right out of there. One of them was a miscommunication. One of them was just, not being aggressive enough and, knowing the shot clock to be a little more aggressive to drive. But we had 2 possessions where we're down 2, and neither one did we get, a good shot.
Any more questions?